So surprisingly, I'm going to start off with a big kind of general boring question. Who likes food? Me too. I love food. It's one of the things that's like most important in your life. You need it and you enjoy it, hopefully. But did you know that the average person's yearly fast food intake will contain 12 pubic hairs? Like, what the fuck? How many pubic hairs get in my Seriously! And propane glycerol, the stuff used for antifreeze, is also used to keep your salad crispy. And it's the main ingredient in lubricant. I don't know why, but like, who wants lubricant on their salad? I don't want lube on my salad. So, brings me to my first point. Processed foods are very bad for you, and we eat far too much processed food. Kraft dinner, I'm sorry Devin, is processed, as is almost any food bought at the grocery store with the intention to save you time. Fast food is processed. Unfortunately, a lot of beef jerky is processed too. Not all of it, but most of it. Processed food is food prepared for consumption. So this can range from anything from just something made at a restaurant to stuff that has a lot of additives and preservatives in it. So I'm going to be focusing on the latter. 70% of the American diet is composed of processed foods. I couldn't find numbers for Canadians, but I'm going to assume they're somewhere close. And they contribute to high rates of diabetes and high blood sugar. Overall, this decreases your quality of life and your life expectancy. No surprise, it's bad for you. To avoid processed foods, one can only eat at restaurants that use fresh, organic meats and produce. It gets expensive eating out all the time, and you really have to be able to trust the person running that restaurant. Or you can buy prepared meals that are not processed. But those are going to taste like shit. Seriously, like, have you guys ever gone to like a store and bought like an organic meal from one of those, I don't know, like the freezer aisle? Like, that's terrible. It's like hard, seriously. However, there is a better choice. Where is it? The best way to avoid processed foods is to buy your own fresh produce and cook for yourself. Everybody can cook. When last time I went home, it was sometime in February, I got in through the door, dropped my bags, and went straight to the kitchen. My parents eat pretty well, at least that's why I think. And so I go to the fridge, and I look in the fridge to see what's in there. I love leftovers. I don't know if any of you guys are leftover haters, but it's like, I love leftovers. I saw some lamb in there, some garlic. Garlic is the shit. I don't know if you guys don't like garlic. It is so good. There are some mushrooms, some really nice cherry tomatoes. My mom got really angry at me for grabbing and putting them into my dish. But basically, I put on some water to boil, right? Turn it up, put in some salt, wait for that to boil. While that's going, I go get some wine and some olive oil and some garlic, put that into a pan, right? Let that reduce a bit. Throw in some of that, some meat. I think it was, lamb. I threw in some lamb and the mushrooms and just let that reduce for a while. Put the garlic in. I don't know if I said that already. The garlic. And I put in the pasta. And once the pasta was done, I let the thing reduce a bit, put that into my sauce, made that, put some Parmesan over the top. It was fantastic. And seriously, that's one of my highlights of my day. I get to go into my house and make food. I'm in residence right now. I don't get to do that, okay? If you can cook for yourself, you have the ability to buy your own ingredients that are uncooked and non-processed. This is obvious. Like, if you buy your own food, you know what's going into it, and it has the ability to be healthier. I mean, a lot of the time I do go home and I find sometimes I make bacon and I take the bacon grease and I siphon it off into a container for later and I make something really disgusting with it. One time I made French fries. I grew potatoes in my backyard. I'm like, oh, that's healthy. I take this bacon grease, throw it into a pan, and then I fry up some of the potatoes into French fries with that bacon grease. I mean, that's kind of gross, but seriously, you have a choice here, okay? If you cook yourself, you have that choice. This leads to healthier eating and less reliance on processed foods. I have been cooking food since I was about 12. It is not hard. I'm sorry, Steph told me the other day that she cannot cook. There are recipes out there, they're basically for 5-year-olds. Easy bake ovens, those are recipes. Like, seriously, you have 2-year-olds making muffins. Seriously, it's not that hard. There are recipes out there that easy, and the more you cook, the less reliant you are on recipes you can cook for yourself. Studies have found that eating out led to at least 50% increase in calories consumed, sodium, and fat intake. Guys, you will be more attractive to women. At least that's what my mom tells me. But seriously, imagine some English guy like Sam here, I'm British, cooking up some nice pasta, sliding over the stove, He's got a couple buttons undone, muscles going like, yes, I love this. Right? Seriously, that's sexy, right? Girls? Am I right? I might be wrong, but okay. You can sit down to dinner with your family. If you can cook, you have that. I remember good memories of mine in childhood. Having dinner with my parents and being able to talk to them about my day and like actually eating good food. Sometimes it was like, oh shit, mom, we just had this last night. But you know, you don't say that because you love her. Or do you guys remember when your mom would call you down for dinner? Right? Like seriously, that's good. That's a good memory. If you don't know how to cook, you can never do that for your kids. Maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but a lot of people have been talking about like our future, having kids and whatnot. Like so seriously, I think I'm in good territory right here. If you cook for yourself, you can avoid takeout foods, which are high in salt, sugar, and fat. I've stressed a lot on these three things. Basically, if people are selling you foods, processed foods in restaurants, they want them to taste good, because that's the only reason you're going to buy them. And if you have salt in it, salt is good. Fat, my favorite piece of like part of the steak is the fatty part of the steak. I like cut that off and save it for later. And at the end of my meal, I just bite into that, and it's like juicy and disgusting and sticky. And sugar. Obviously, things with sugar taste better. Okay, but they're not good for you. If you cook for yourself, you'll train your palate towards healthier fare. People who start eating healthy, they don't like it at first because it doesn't taste good. But after a long time, it will start to taste good. And it will improve your cooking skills and your appreciation for the company and social activity that comes along with good food. So, learn to cook. It isn't hard. Just pay attention. Once you cook enough, you won't even need a recipe. There'll be a kitchen in almost every place you call home. So use it to change your life. Thank you.
6:55?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Sam. Anybody getting hungry? Comments? Yes, Megan.
It was like a stand-up comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when he went into his Jamie Oliver riff there. Taking off his shirt to cook the bacon. Yes. What else did you like about his presentation, other than it was about food? Yes, Laura.
I loved how relatable it is. A lot of us are first years, so we are residents, so we can't cook, and that's something that one of the biggest things I miss about being at home is like being able to cook like the best food, because it's so easy to just go to Caps and get a big slice of cheese pizza, which my friend told me has 750 calories.
Oh,
One slice, right?
Yeah, they're like a piece of this big, and they're really good, but it's really bad for you.
Yeah, no, it's tough for sure. How many of you in res in first year are planning to go back to res in second year? Hands up. None. I kind of thought so. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like part of the machine of the university, right? They bring everybody into first year, unsuspecting first years, and then after that, it's like nobody wants to go back. Tells a tale. Yes. Anything else about his speech that you liked, Ashley?
Men that can cook are really sexy. So she
Thank you. Yeah, my mom's right, that's good.
Yeah. she got that one.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, no, I love that you put that in as the sex appeal. It's like, well, that's what my mom told me. That's really good. Good line. Thanks. Really emotionally committed to what was going on. I like the use of the vernacular. Everybody understands what I mean by that, right? Holy fuck, or whatever you said in spots. I thought, well, for this group, I think that's a fine call, and you earned it. Like you earned it in the speech and the tone of the speech. So I thought that was good. Hitting keywords for emphasis. Some motivated movement, especially when we're here to cook and do your Jamie Oliver striptease, whatever that was. You found some spontaneity. Oh, this was a great example, guys. I talked about dropping the speech. He did. Did you hear it? He was going on, doing his speech, and he said, okay, and here's the favorite thing I love to do. Complete change in the tone of his speech, right? He said, he was basically talking about going and raiding his parents' fridge. And it's like the speech dropped away and he was just having a conversation with you, right? So that's what I mean. Anybody who's got that note, that was a prime example of that, right? Because he shouldn't have to like look at his notes when he's talking about that. He does it on a fairly regular basis, right? Okay. Brianna.
I feel like you did a really good job of bringing yourself back after you talked about like a personal anecdote. Like I noticed quite a few times you're like, oh, I love this food or whatever, but you did a really good job of getting back on track and not like wandering off. somewhere else.
Yeah,
with it.
I wanted to. I wanted to think about that steak, but you know, I got that. We don't have good steak in Res. They'll have like steak night, and it'll be the shittiest steak ever. Like all their good food is bad food, pretty much. It's opposite. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay.
I'm with you. So watch a few non-words. You like
Yeah, I do.
I'd say movement, kind of, you pretty much confined to a little box up there, other than coming over here. So I'd say let's break you out of that box next time. Like let's use the whole stage next time. See if you can find a way to motivate going right over to Kim or right over towards the camera, or right. Like just let's use more of the space next time, because there's so much else that's going well here. So I just say that my note here is clean up the movement. And that's pretty much it for me. Any other comments? If not, thank you. Great job.